The Last Laugh. The Last Laugh is a roller coaster of romance, humor, mystery, and suspense. It's a story about Ali, a quirky freelance photographer with a penchant for true crime podcasts, and Jack, a popular romantic comedy screenwriter whose life takes a dark turn. Together, they're drawn into an unexpected mystery that shatters their expectations of love, friendship, and trust. Ali just broke up with her longtime boyfriend and is convinced love doesn't exist outside of movies. She's a regular at a local coffee shop where she scrolls through crime forums and critiques romantic comedies she deems unrealistic. One morning, she meets Jack, a witty, charming, and overly confident screenwriter known for penning laugh-out-loud romantic comedies. Jack's running dry on ideas, so he proposes a challenge to Ali. If she helps him write a realistic rom-com, he'll split the credit and royalties. Amused and slightly flattered, she agrees, and they embark on a writing journey that sparks an undeniable attraction. Despite her cynicism, Ali starts to see Jack as more than just a writing partner, and Jack, who's usually too absorbed in work, finds himself inspired by her presence. Just as Ali begins to open up to the idea of romance again, she notices a growing tension around Jack. She chalks it up to work stress, until he drops a bombshell. A young woman, Michelle, a fan Jack recently dated, has mysteriously disappeared. As days pass, Michelle's face is plastered across news channels. Jack, caught in the center of the storm, is being accused of stalking, and a slew of cryptic messages hint that someone close to Michelle blames him for her disappearance. Jack insists he's innocent, but as evidence starts surfacing, a string of emails, voicemails, and receipts from their dates, Ali, secretly enthralled by mysteries, is hooked. Though initially unsure if Jack is lying, her gut tells her to trust him. She teams up with Jack to retrace his steps with Michelle, only to discover peculiar inconsistencies that don't add up. It turns out Michelle was using a different name and had ties to an underground group that specialized in disappearing people with criminal histories. Just when Ali believes they're getting closer to the truth, Jack goes missing too. Ali, desperate and heartbroken, reaches out to her true crime podcast friends to help. A pattern begins to emerge. Several of Jack's past romantic interests had vanished or moved away suddenly after their breakups, and each left behind the same haunting message: "I wasn't ready to let you go." Ali spirals between doubts and fears, questioning if she ever knew the real Jack. Determined to unravel the mystery, Ali tracks down Jack's family and learns disturbing details about his childhood, including the trauma of losing his twin sister, Sarah, at a young age. She begins to suspect that maybe Jack isn't who he appears to be, that perhaps Sarah's tragic disappearance had left deeper scars. But before Ali can piece it all together, she finds herself trapped in a secluded cabin, tied to a chair, facing none other than Michelle, alive and smirking. Michelle reveals the truth. She's part of a vigilante group that targets men who exploit women, and Jack was her latest mark. She thought she could bait Jack into a situation that would ruin his career, but Ali's presence complicated the plan. Michelle, still bitter, decides to finish what she started, until Jack storms into the cabin, his demeanor cold and calculated, nothing like the cheerful rom-com writer Ali knew. Jack reveals that he knew Michelle's plan all along and had been playing his own game. With his sister's death still haunting him, Jack became obsessed with exposing frauds, one victim at a time. He never hurt anyone, but he orchestrated each disappearance to match his sister's story, using it as inspiration for his screenplays. But Ali, calm and clever, isn't ready to become the next character in Jack's twisted script. She triggers a distress call through her phone, alerting her true crime friends who've been tracking her location. With police closing in, Jack and Michelle's twisted partnership crumbles in mutual betrayal, each accusing the other in a panicked scramble for freedom. In the end, both are arrested, and Allie returns to the city, traumatized yet strangely fulfilled. Inspired by her harrowing experience, she pens her own screenplay, a thriller about love, loss, and obsession that makes her an overnight success. Months later, Allie receives a postcard with no return address. The message reads, "I wasn't ready to let you go," leaving her unsure if Jack ever truly left her life. Just then, the TV news flashes a new story about a mysterious disappearance. Ready to turn your social media into a money-making machine? Let me teach you how through my ebooks. Link in the description.